I want to talk about tariffs and the product cycles, and also about how deflation or price depreciations is actually a form of subsidy to the poor, and there's nothing wrong with keeping things as they are. If some countries they have problems with their trade deficit, they could do something else. They could make products that the world wants. They could stop their belligerence towards many countries. They could do more business with foreigners. They could make products that are outrageous and nobody else can make those things. For example, the technology to make space planes and then make trips to moon. Charge $500,000 per trip. The U.S. government has such technologies. Or another example would be that the better products and tablets that Apple make, well, the technology came from U.S. government, from research that they just gave it to them for free, and they could charge more for their products or their tablets because they were making something that nobody else had. But now things have changed. Other companies are making tablets, so the price of tablets have dropped significantly because they're not special. And this happens to many products. When somebody innovates and make a better product, then he or she can charge a pretty penny in the beginning, and after a while, well, many consumers that are wealthy, they'll buy that product, and then after a while other companies will get into it and make that product and sell it at a cut rate, and then until like a few years later it becomes a commodity. Like just about anybody makes it, and the price has depreciated and continue to depreciate, and you could get it at just about any price. So what's wrong with this system as is? Only companies that they don't want to innovate or grow, and they're fixated on their past, they're hostile to such a system. Then tariffs, what they do is just a tax. Say for example, the government put tariffs on many everyday products, then this tax will find its way to Walmart, and then everybody has to pay it, just like a tax on gas or tax on housing, anything, any kind of tax. It comes out of the pocket of the consumers. Also in the United States, 70% they say of the economy is the consumer spending. So if the consumer is becoming poorer and has less money in her pocket, then there will be less money coming into the economy. But another good thing about innovating or making products that are more artistic or luxurious or exceptional or innovative, and nobody has this product, is that the rich, the wealthy will take out their checkbooks and they'll spend money. They'll spend the bigger money on that product. Whereas the poor, like me, I'm regular customer on 99 cents only store or Walmart at best, then the volume of my expenditures are not significant to what my ex-landlord, who's a wealthy dentist, would spend. She would, when she takes out her checkbook, boy, you watch out, then she can spend a pretty penny. So tormenting the poor is not a good idea, because there is a lot of us, and we add up to maybe a few dentists pay checkbook. And anyhow, it shrinks the volume of consumer spending, and also aggravates society. Also, it's also very stupid, because the tendency for when a product that's a high price, and there is no reason for it to be high price, and it was cheaper before, well, the consumers are going to go sideways and either buy that stuff used, or buy it elsewhere, or buy it online. And say, for example, these tariffs from Chinese goods, and Chinese manufacturing is becoming very mature. There are other manufacturers now springing up everywhere: North Korea, Vietnam, Malaysia, Pakistan. I saw stuff that were made in Saudi Arabia. They don't even own their own labor. Somebody else brings it in. So what will happen is that the consumers will go and buy this product from secondary sources. It will be the same stuff. It will hurt the Chinese, but then it will help the other manufacturers elsewhere, and this problem will continue in some different domain. Then what would the government will end up doing is continuously going around and sanctioning and tariffing different countries, and it prevents the flow or a free flow of economic activity or trade between many countries. And then on top of all of that, United States produces some things that the foreigners want. Well, I don't know if they even care for this, because they're so used to printing money and giving it to each other. But for example, U.S. has nice aviation companies. They make good planes. They have technology that they have mothballed, space technology that they stole or got from E.T. Can be as exotic as you can think. Time machine. I don't know if they'll ever release that one, but technologies that are in the labs that could be used to make things that the world wants, rather than shoved through their throat. Or I guess it requires a different philosophy than just printing money and buying anything. What if someday that the world say, hey, I don't give a shit about your money or your bonds, give me something else, something that I could use. Well, it used to be that in the 50s and 60s that the United States was easy to come in and go for tourists. Also, U.S. wasn't so involved in overthrowing foreign governments. I don't know if this was even the case in the 50s or 60s. They do have a tradition of pummeling just about anybody, but hey, it wasn't so overt before. So there are things that the foreigners that have all the money now would want. One is security, weapons that they can use to deal with Israel, tourism, the desire of some upper class to come in and live the echelon life of the upper class Americans. That's such a stupid dream, but hey, some people still want that. And when international trade is based on things that the opposing sides want, rather than by manipulation of currency and huge trade deficits, and that's more normal and more healthy, and also it will help internal industries in the United States to grow in a more organic fashion rather than, I was listening to Salente, and he was saying that we should make our own clothes, our own T-shirts, our own loom. Okay, that's a very old industry. So say we did that, it would cost us more, and the government would have to subsidize that. But then you take those T-shirts that the Americans made, and you want to sell it internationally, then you would have to give again more subsidies to be able to dump it into the international market and compete with the T-shirts that were made in Pakistan or Vietnam. And isn't that a big waste of money? Because you'll have to first pay and reindustrialize with these crappy old industries full of pollution, and then once the products are made and some are used in the United States, have to dump them in the international market and have to pay again. And also you have to tariff the Chinese and the Vietnamese who are actually making the cheaper, better product. The whole thing is a sham, and the better thing is to make things that the foreigners they cannot make. They will have difficult time making space planes. They will have difficult time making nanotechnology. For example, they'll have difficult time being a friend, like brokering peace deals, while the Russians are doing a lot of that instead of the Americans. With all the history we have and all the resources, we should be doing that. We should be a peacemaker and getting the privilege and goodwill that was ours before. I don't know if these ideas sync with the American politicians. They do have an IQ deficiency. Thank you for being in my YouTube channel. My stuff is research, and please leave your comment and subscribe.